It's been a few months, but I'm back. So join me, Marcus, as I go for another walk. And today's walk is going to be a bit different. It's going to be a bit of a mystery walk. And what I mean by that is I haven't got a route planned out. I'm going to make it up as I go along. So at this stage, I can't tell you where I'm going, how hard the walk's going to be, how long it's going to take. But stay with me. We're going to end up somewhere. So I'm starting here in Nottage by the old shelter next to the Farmer's Arms pub and the Swan just over there. I am going to record the route on all trails on my phone. So at the end, I'll publish that and put a link to the starting points and the map in the description below. And obviously at this point, the walk hasn't got a name, so I don't know where I'm going. So that's the info. I think I'll start by walking through Nottage Village, then up Moor Lane, then I've got a choice. Either can go west towards Sker, east to Newton and the Dunes, or I can go north towards Cornelly. We'll see when I get there. Let's get started, let's go. Like many walks, we leave the shelter, past the Farmer's Arms, past the green, and up Moor Lane. So there's the green and the Rose and Crown. Nottage still has 3 pubs, so somewhere to stop on your return. So as you can probably make out, the weather isn't too good at the moment. It's been raining for about 24 hours. It has eased off and the weather forecast is set to improve, but I'll believe that when I see it. So you may get a few raindrops on the lens. Anyway, we're coming down to Moor Lane. We take a left by T. Talbot Farm at Moor Lane. So I'm currently walking past the old Nottage Halt railway station. What I'll do, a lot of the places I'll probably pass, I've covered in previous videos on my other channel in more detail, and I'll link some of those below. So like this, Nottage Halt, if you want to find out more about that, have a look at the videos below in the description. See what I mean about the amount of rain. This area often floods because it's right next to the well, St. David's Well. Originally, this used to be an inlet from the sea. So our first choice now, we can either go west and follow Moor Lane, or take a right and go east down towards Marlpit Lane and down to Newton. I think I'll continue to walk along Moor Lane and head west. So that's the way east there towards Newton, but we're going to continue on Moor Lane heading towards Sker. And then we go under the old railway bridge, known locally as Cuckoo Bridge, which you probably can see coming up. So after about 400 yards, I've got another choice. I can continue down Moor Lane on the Nottage circular walk towards Sker, or I can take a right down a footpath that takes me over to the Grove Golf Club in South Cornelly. And I think I'm going to take that one. One of the reasons being, I've had a lot of Sker on the beach, and it's quite interesting over there. I don't know where I'm going to go, but I don't really know that area so well. And also, during lockdown, they're developing this field, making lodges, and they blocked the footpath, and I complained. Now, they've sectioned off the footpath, so I may as well use it. Let's go and take a look. Well, the gate's there, and you can see on the path they have put a hedge up to separate the footpath from the development over there, which was meant to be finished a year and a half ago. I've been up here a few times and haven't seen much going on. So what time of the day am I doing this? I'm doing this on a wet Tuesday lunchtime. And it's not very busy. There are a few parts I think we're heading to on this path by South Cornelly, which is busy, but only for a couple of 100 yards. Because of all the rain, the path is really muddy. It looks like they have put new signs up showing you the way. So now we're going through the trees in the middle of the Grove Golf Club. We come out near their car park, then it's along the main road for a short distance into South Cornelly. Very muddy. And slippery. So when you emerge from the woods, you carry on walking straight up to the main road, which you can see and probably hear in front of me. So you end up by this stile on the main road into Porthcawl, and this is the busiest part of the walk so far. We can either walk, turn right and walk along the main road back into Porthcawl, or take a left past the Esso garage into South Cornelly, and that's the way I've decided to go. Not the easiest to cross. Take care there. So I don't know if you can see the sign, the road sign. We're going straight on South Cornelly. There's the 20-mile-an-hour signs, like we've got all over Wales at the moment. So now we've passed the Esso garage. It does get quieter as you get into South Cornelly. And in South Cornelly, we've got another choice to make. I'll see you there. So now I have another choice. I can either turn right up this road, which takes me up the hill to the South Cornelly Quarries, or I can continue this way towards North Cornelly, or turn left over to Kenfig Dunes that way, and the Kenfig Nature Reserve, across the South Cornelly bypass. But I think I'll go up this road up to the South Cornelly Quarries, because I have done that walk before, and it's an interesting mix between heavy industry and countryside. This white building here used to be a pub. This used to be a level crossing, and the trains ran that way. So at the top of the hill, past the old railway crossing, you should find this sign, public footpath, and that's where we're heading now. There's some turkeys. Do you know what day it is? It's the 19th of December. Not long till Christmas. Are you looking forward to Christmas? I doubt it. Listen to those turkeys. The weather has improved a bit. The rain has stopped. It's still overcast, but at least I'm dry. And look at this old neglected Land Rover. Look at that. So we carry on going straight through this small gap. So we climb this hill. I'll see you at the top. The hill wasn't that bad. At the top, there's like remnants of an old quarry and some trailers and stuff like that. This is a perfect location for a classic Doctor Who, a John Pertwee or Tom Baker one in the 70s. If I remember correctly, this path takes us right by the current quarry, and we're right next to the quarry itself, which is still working. So we should get some good views. If you like big holes, this part of the walk reminds you of Jurassic Park. So now we have to cross a road which is part of the quarry. So make sure we don't get knocked over by a massive tractor thing. There is an information stand here about the quarry, and it says Stormy Down has been exploited since the Roman period. It is signposted. So if you like heavy industry, this is the walk for you. If you like quarries, So now I'm coming up to the main quarry itself, and just past this gate we've got a choice, and the sun's coming out. So here, just as you go past the gate saying danger, heavy plant crossing, you've got a choice. You can either go down there, which cuts across the fields and takes you to South Cornelly Quarries and across the motorway, or we can go this way up towards Stormy Down, and I think I'll go that way because that takes us to the old RAF Stormy Down. And look at that quarry. We're leaving the quarry behind us and we're coming up to like a scrappies near Stormy Down. We take a right there, past the old RAF Stormy airfield, which is now like a renewable energy place. Then we follow a road called Mount Pleasant, which overlooks Porthcawl. And if the weather's cleared, we may be able to get some good shots over Porthcawl itself, and we drop down then towards the main road into Porthcawl, close to the Grove Golf Club. So this is the scrappies, the auto dismantler. If we go straight on, we end up on the A48, which is not a good idea, a busy road. So we're going to take a right up here, alongside the wind turbines. I will be walking into the sun for a bit on this stretch, so things may be shaded out a bit. Even though I'm walking on a road, in daylight, it's not too bad. It's quite wide and it's not that busy. There's not many signs of old RAF Stormy Down left since the redevelopment of the renewable energy place and other units. But I think they've got a memorial in the car park. I'll nip down to see if I can see it. See if it's still there. Let's have a look. Hopefully I'll be able to get in. It's only a couple of minutes down the road here. So I'm meant to be walking straight on, but we're going to take a short diversion into the energy centre, down that road there, then come back here. Those things are massive. And where they stand used to be RAF Stormy Down. A gunnery school, I think it was. Let's go and see if we can find that memorial. So there it is, Royal Air Force Stormy Down, dedicated to the men and women who served here 1939 until 1946, obviously until after the war. And they trained people here from the Royal Navy, Royal Marines, Royal Artillery, Royal Air Force, Women's Auxiliary Air Force, Australian Air Force, Canadian Air Force, Rhodesian Air Force, New Zealand Air Force, Indian Air Force, French Air Force and the Polish Air Force. And just look at this above the memorial. So that was a short diversion to the Renewable Energy Centre to have a look at the old RAF Stormy Down. Now it's back on to the road I was on earlier, which takes us round along the top overlooking Porthcawl. I think it's called Mount Pleasant Road. So we're back on track, walking into the sun, back to Porthcawl. We're basically walking around the quarry itself. So the date is the 19th. We're getting very close to the shortest day of the year. You can tell it's been grey all day and the sun isn't that high in the sky. What's the time? 1:30. I think that part of the road was called Heel of Splot, and it comes round to this long stretch called Mount Pleasant Road. So the quarry is now on the right of us. We've gone around 180 degrees. Well, before we leave this area and the quarries and head back down to Porthcawl, those wind turbines over there weren't the first windmills in the area. Just over here on the left is private property, but there's a windmill. If you've seen my video searching for the lost windmill in Merthyr Mawr, this one's very similar in design. It's private, but if you look down, you can see the stone tower. And from Dannegraig, Nottage Road near the new surgery, looking up, you can see it. On this camera, it's too far away, you can't make it out. But if you're walking here, you can see it quite clearly between the trees. Another old windmill. It's a shame you can't get to see it, see what state it's in. I'm just about to walk down the hill into Porthcawl from Mount Pleasant, and when you do it, you get really good views of Porthcawl and out to the Bristol Channel. Unfortunately, the sun's setting directly in the direction I'm walking, so I doubt if anything will come out on camera, but when you walk it, trust me, they are good views. So in front of you, you can see the road into Porthcawl, and you can either follow that or do a right, and that takes you back to the Grove Golf Club. But I'm going to go that way, past Jubilee Gardens, Porthcawl Cemetery, back to Nottage. It's a main road, but there is a pavement. So we're coming down the hill. You probably can hear the traffic going into Porthcawl. Just before we get to that main road, there's some interesting names. Well, a name of a lane which describes the lane exactly. It's called Zigzag Lane. So that tells you exactly what the lane's like. So that's a lane, looks a bit flooded, and that's its name. But we're going that way. As it's quite noisy, I'll see you in Porthcawl Cemetery at the Sam Tampa Memorial. So I'm just coming up to Porthcawl Cemetery, and as you go in, slightly to the left is the memorial to the Sam Tamper. You can't really miss it. I'll show you now. It's there. It's a big anchor, you can't miss it. So there it is, dedicated to the memory of the captain and the crew of the SS Sam Tamper, lost at Sker Point, 23rd of April 1947. Well, leaving the cemetery, there's only a short distance down the main road again, and there's a turn off to Nottage Village. Now we've reached our turn off. We're going up there. But we have to cross this road first. Run, run. That wasn't too bad. And this road takes us uphill to Nottage Village and the other spur of Moor Lane where we started. Right, on this road going into Nottage, there's a footpath sign, and the path used to take you across this field, but now it's directing you down there somewhere, and he's fenced it off. And I can't see where the path is meant to take you. I'm a bit fed up with these footpath closures or diversions. Another culprit at Tiddickson Estates. There was a footpath there I was following over lockdown, and that the sign's been cut down and it said private property, and I'm getting fed up. They own enough land as it is. You wait till the revolution, brothers, you wait. Anyway, I digress. That one may not even be closed. I can't see where it goes. And we're back in Nottage Village. I'm back in Nottage by the old shelter and the Swan pub, and that walk was about 6 miles and took me 2 hours. I have tracked it, and I'll put a link to the map in the description below. What should I call the walk? I don't know, Nottage to South Cornelly Quarries. Not the most catchy of titles, but it's what I did. There are some interesting places on the way, and I've made some videos about that previously, and I'll link those as well. I hope you enjoyed the walk, and the next one will be sooner than this one. It was months since my last walk. Anyway, until then, keep walking.